The CHRYSALIS Project fuses the media of dance, film, and classical music. So CHRYSALIS unites an orchestra, Oxford Alternative Orchestra, a film production company, Four Eyes Productions, and a team of composers and world-renowned dancers and choreographers. And the idea is to really question and push the boundaries on how these genres are usually integrated. Usually it's one that is the primary focus and the others fall into place behind it. Either music is created and a dance falls in with it, or a dance is created and someone writes music, or it's a music video and the filmmaker has the full creative license. We're trying to do something different. We're trying to use this new frontier of the pandemic, this new digital frontier of communicating with each other, to create from scratch these new works together. As an orchestra conductor, I found myself at the beginning of the pandemic quite depressed, separated from audiences and the people I work with. As I was thinking about this, the image of a chrysalis came to mind. And the chrysalis is that point in the butterfly's life cycle where it's in a cocoon, it's confined, constrained, it's in the dark, and it has to be there for a long time. In order to become the glorious creature that it's going to be, it has to go through this transition, this transformation. It has to be in this dark place. I started to think about that as a metaphor for what we're going through. As artists, as humans, really. What is it that we could become in this time? What do we want to be on the other side of it? Because we're working digitally and we're thinking about performance in new ways, borders and distance just dissolved. It was possible for us to work with brilliant choreographers around the world and to put this orchestra as a through line. My hope is that we've challenged a little bit our concept of how it's possible to work as classical musicians. Even more fundamentally, these videos are about hope. These videos are about finding a way to create something beautiful in a really desolate and difficult time. My desire, and our desire as a team, is that this brings some joy and some inspiration to the people who watch them. We get a variety of interpretations of hope and the theme chrysalis, from Aguibusano in Burkina Faso, with his interpretation of the butterfly and wings emerging, to a philosophical interpretation from Zander Parish in Russia, to a more literal interpretation of the bodies folding and unfolding in the position of the chrysalis that we get from Sarah Foster-Sproul in New Zealand. We're now in 5 countries, we might be expanding to a couple more. One of the massive challenges is coordinating the shoots in each country, each of which is in a different level of lockdown, each of it requires different safety precautions. So one level is figuring out, okay, what's safe, what's possible, what's beautiful. And then the other challenge, of course, is shooting in Oxford. We make sure that the musicians are seen, not just heard. So the members of the orchestra who play are seen in every video. What does it look like to integrate Burkina Faso and Oxford? Another artistic challenge is the music. We actually recorded the music of these brilliant composers in the height of the UK lockdown. So we actually had to record each musician individually. We would do individual takes. I would be listening through the headphones because only one person would be in the studio at the same time. Our sound engineer would be there. I'd say, okay, that was brilliant, but we need the bow stroke to be a little bit longer. That will match what the violist did, who was just here before you. So that is not the normal way that an orchestra records. But it was a way to make music at this time, and we all agreed afterwards it was absolutely worth doing. CHRYSALIS was such a joy because it was collaborative from start to finish. We would have meetings with the choreographer and the composer and me and discuss the vision of the piece, how they want it to work, where they need beat, do they need melody, are they looking for something more abstract, and together they would create something that would be entirely integrated. Amelia Clark's team at Four Eyes Productions would really take the lead on figuring out how to bring that vision to life. What makes it work on the screen? So they would lead discussions with the director of photography in Oxford for their Oxford shoots and on location in each of the countries around the world.